Hello, how's it going? We are back with our third visit to the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, the Frozen Sick free adventure, published by Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Hopefully, this is the thrilling conclusion to our epic adventure that has taken us across hundreds of miles of the frozen north. There in Wildemount. Um, I'm going to give a quick recap before we start, and then we'll have a quick introduction to everyone else, and we'll get right down to it. So, our band of hardy adventurers have travelled to a desolate wasteland known as Cross, I believe, and you are looking for the cure to a ancient magical disease known as the Frozen Woe, and you have been reliably informed that the race of people that lived in this island, or actually lived in flying cities, and were cast down by the gods because they dared to try and create weapons to kill the gods. Such was their hubris. Their laboratories were well known for producing these magical diseases, and one assumes and hopes and prays that they are also capable of producing the cures. So you have come to the frozen north, journeyed for many, many days through Arctic conditions, and you found an ancient laboratory half sunk into a lake, like a semi-frozen lake up in the mountains. And you've ventured in a little way, encountered some crumbling, dusty old zombies with arcane symbols on their very old looking clothing, and you dispatched a few of them, and this is where we're going to pick the action up. So that's a rather long, rambly intro. Let's speak to Gaz, who he can tell us a bit about Nassri, who he's playing, and he can say hello.
Hello, I'm Gaz, part of the What Would the Smart Party Do podcast. I'm playing Nassri Armstrong, a dwarven cleric, formerly a soldier until recently, who, ironically, was fighting undead under the mountain not too long ago. So this has brought back some flashbacks from that time when she was a soldier, but now she's a cleric and doing her best to find this cure because back home there's a lot of people dying a hideous death. So her thoughts are with healing and protecting nature and using her soldiery abilities to bring back that medicine for the rest of society.
Brilliant. And Baz, let's go with Baz, and then we'll finish it with our extra special guest, Mr. Matt.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Baz. I'm the other part of the Smart Party podcast, and I am playing Lamul Hidecarver, a giant of a Goliath, ostensibly a fighter, but that much would be obvious if you could see him. He stands 7.5 feet tall, nearly as wide. He's grey-skinned with black tribal markings all over his face and his body, which you can see plenty of, because even though we're in the frozen north, I'm pretty much in board shorts and a vest. In fact, the biggest piece of kit that I've probably got is my shield, which is my regimental shield. I'm ex-military, served with Nassri with distinction. We managed to get out of it, still alive at the end of our military conquest. So we decided to throw ourselves into a life of adventure. And it was on that life of adventure that we encountered the ever-amusing Yin'beros.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Matt. You find me on Twitter at Loot the Corpses. I'm the kind of playing Yin'beros, the team mascot. It's fair to say. Yin'beros, young elf, rogue, fun-loving and fantasy-free. Definitely not carrying any kind of magical dagger. Definitely not carrying that.
Nope.
And hoping to save the world and get quite rich at the same time. He loves the sea and he loves his friends who are all part of the crew. But he doesn't love the cold, so this is not a good place for him.
Oh, bless him, bless him. So yes, you're standing in a corridor in the north part of the laboratory, breathing slightly heavily. A fairly long, tough fight against some zombies in tattered Aeorian robes that were aimlessly wandering around until they sensed your life essence intruding upon them, and they attacked. What do you do now? You can see a number of doors leading off the corridor, and more importantly, it leads off to the right, as you can see on the map.
So this place was kind of like a 100-year-old laboratory, wasn't it? Like an Arctic station. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yeah. So, just to give you a sort of sense of place, all of the walls are this dark, deep blue, almost granite, basalt style material. The walls glow with an eternal light, dim now after hundreds or if not thousands of years. And yeah, this is a magical laboratory, very austere, utilitarian build.
Okay.
Are there any signposts inside? We saw a sign in the, welcoming people to the laboratory. Welcome to our laboratory, whatever it said. Are there any kind of, this way to blood tests and all that kind of thing?
No, you look at the walls, and no, as I say, the walls are unfeatured at the moment. They're just this dark blue stone material.
Okay, so we have already found the blue powdery stuff that delivers the frozen woe, and we're after the antidote to that, aren't we? So these zombies give me pause to think, but being that I'm a massive fighter Goliath, I don't think for very long. I think perhaps we should just get a little bit of a lope on here. Let's go and find stuff before the zombies come for us.
Yeah, I think you're right. I wasn't expecting to find those things, zombies you call them, but we better get moving quickly, otherwise, well, there might be more of them, definitely.
There will be, hopefully. My lungs will thirst for their blood.
I left the mountain fighting, so I wouldn't have to zombies in dark caves.
It wasn't that hard. I thought you were just playing with your one, Nassri, if I remember rightly from last time. And you're still playing with it now. Move away from the toy.
I'm busy hammering the dents out of my head from it nearly took my head off.
So, Nassri was in a lot of trouble, and I'll tell you one thing: this cut is really going to. It's probably going to sting in the morning. It's going a bit black around the edges as well. I don't like the look of it.
Don't tell anyone else about the cut.
Are we checking out these doors, or do you think we should find wherever this corridor leads?
I'm just going to peer down this corridor for now. Let's see what's to the right, and nearly to the south.
Okay, let me reveal that area for you. So the corridor indeed goes down to the right, extends quite a way. As I say, the Eternal Light spell gives you completely clear vision. What is that? About 50 or 60 feet down, if not slightly further. Ends in 2 doors.
Right. So all we've encountered so far is some undead, and we suspect an animated armor or similar down the other way from the story we heard from the old adventurer on the way up.
Yeah.
So, given that we just had a big fight as well, I'm not sure we need to worry too much about creating noise.
No.
If there are zombies or other undead, filthy creatures in there, they're probably disturbed by a bit of noise. It seems weird. Is it worth banging on doors before we go in just to see if we hear anything on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we move down the corridor, do you want to slap on them just to see if there's any kind of reaction?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to backtrack slightly, or you're going to start with these doors that you've got here?
There's 3 of us. Let's take them. So I'm going to bang on these 2 doors that I'm right next to.
Nice.
Wait, anything in there? Anything in there? Are you alive?
You bang on the north door. Well, it's the west door, but we're going to call it north, right? The up door.
That one there.
And
up makes sense.
You go boom, boom. If anything's in there, it's definitely heard you. You have no response from that, so you turn around, and the door to your right, this one here, you give a good elbow, people's elbow, clang, clang, and you can hear what sounds like rasping metal, and then like a clatter of a sound against the doorway, as if someone's thrown a fork or a knife or some piece of cutlery at the door.
Okay. How are you 2 getting on? I think I might have a live one here.
I'm going to tap politely on my door. I don't with you banging. I'll be like, hello?
Okay.
Hello?
You kind of tap away, and you hear absolutely nothing from there. Silence is your reward for your tapping. Whereas Nassri, on the other hand, gives a good solid, thump on the door.
It's a warhammer.
Oh, you're using the warhammer, even better. Dong, 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 and you actually hear a couple of dull thuds, and then you can hear this on the other side.
Right, okay, yeah. All right, I think I've got a live one as well down here.
Live or dead?
Yeah,
Make an investigation roll, Nasri.
I will try.
Yeah.
This
You'll
is
be
not
all right.
my strong suit.
You'll be fine. Oh, maybe you won't. You're wise, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm wise, not bright.
Was that 3 rolls you made there?
No, or I didn't mean to.
2.
Made 2. All right, we'll take the first one. Let's fail forward. You know that there's more than one, but you can't quite work out how many there are in there.
That's all right. I'm going to suggest to my friends that we leave ones where there's people in or things in alone and open the ones that there aren't as a first stab, and then we'll open those if we need to.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll open my door.
Boring.
You're opening your door, are you, Yin'beros?
Yeah.
Why not? Let us.
That's what I'm here for. Open the doors.
Let us open this door for you. So, the door is not locked and swings open to touch. There is debris from broken stone furniture, you assume, covering the floor, and there are cracks in the walls as if they, like they had sort of built-in shelves kind of screwed into the walls, and actually looking at it, you think maybe it's the stone shelves that have fallen to the floor and broken into rubble. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is a mighty 9.
A mighty 9. Fantastic. In which case, make me a perception check, because that is not enough to see things by default.
I will kind of wryly look over my shoulder and say, I think I found another table.
Yeah.
So much for your keen eyes, Elf. Why has all the furniture in this place exploded?
It's a good
It's
question.
past its sell-by date.
It's a mystery to be discovered. The 12 is great. You notice an old-looking rug underneath all of the rubble, quite ornately woven. Just catches your eye because it's got a lovely kind of red and blue pattern on it.
Oh, there's a rug there. Might have a map on it, I'll say, making up for any reason to have an investigate.
There's a map on it.
What it's not going to have on it is a golden vial with a milky fluid that's the cure for the disease, is what we're for.
Well, they might have imprinted their recipes in tapestries or something.
Yin'beros.
Oh.
Stay on target, Yin'beros.
Oh, all right, I'll remember the children.
If we have time.
All right, let's. So while Yin'beros debates the dilemma of an ancient rug or not, who else is? Where should we cut the camera to? Nasri?
Let's go down to that door there that I'm pinging, mate, because we've not checked on that one yet.
Sure.
What I'd like to do, Matt, is I want to shove these frozen zombie corpses out of the way, make a bit of a pile of them in case we have to come back down this corridor in a hurry. Okay, so I'll move them around. I'm used to shifting the dead from my army days.
That's fine. Where are you going to stick them? In the broken furniture room, I guess?
We'll move them north up to this little corner here, and that'll give Nasri time to
stack them up in there. That makes perfect sense.
Lovely.
And then you're going to come to this door here, you say?
Correct.
Cool. That you kind of bang again on that. Just echoes around the corridor, and you hear nothing.
I'll open it up then.
You open that up. Inside, there looks to be 4 unmade beds. They are quite dusty. You get the impression that they have been unmade for quite a period of time. Kind of ties in.
They haven't exploded.
Yeah. By quite a period of time, I'm talking hundreds of years like the rest of the place, or like a week.
Yeah.
There's 2 extremes.
There is a small footlocker you notice in between 2 of the beds.
Go on then, Yin'beros.
My loot sense will go bing, bing. And I'm in there. I'll go nipping in.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys, I've got this. And also, I'm thinking maybe we could set up some kind of fiendish trap with those zombie bodies so that if we're chased out, we can have them collapse on them or something.
Stay on target.
Sorry.
So there's a small degree of regret that you experience, Yin'beros, as you realise that not only is it not locked, it's also not trapped, and you just swing it open, and inside you find what looks to be a relatively well-preserved and intact robe, the same as the zombies were wearing, except theirs were a little bit more tattered. So it's an Aeorian robe. It's quite natty, if a bit old-fashioned.
You know, a little bit of paint and we could pretend to be zombies. How about that?
Oh, Lordy. Hey, Nassri, you remember our sergeant would never have let us get away with leaving beds like that, would he?
It's an outrage. I can't tell you how disgusted I am. More disgusted than having this zombie matter on me from the lungs that are blown out by the.
Stay on point. Come on. Anyway, anybody want a robe?
Well, what's on the other foot locker? I can see one poking out from under a bed, Yin'beros.
Oh, really? Have a look around.
Again, passive perception 9. I don't know if you're cut out for this trade.
What? Where? What? Just keep looking.
Look at the robe over his head. He's going to put it on.
2 minutes later, wait a minute. Is this some kind of wind up? It is, isn't it?
It's not like a hospital gown where you go in from the front.
You drag that locker out again with excited anticipation. You pop it open. This one does not have anything in it at all.
Well, that's depressing.
Excellent.
Boring. I'm going to put the robe on. What do you think?
Do it.
I've already started walking down the corridor.
Come on.
Look up, see they've all gone. Guys.
Okay, so it all seems quiet from this door here, and
right, I'll kick it in then.
Are you going to kick it in?
So that's the quiet one.
Well, it wasn't previously the quiet one. I feel
this is the quiet one. Whoa, Nassri, whoa! And I put a hand on the half of her warhammer, and she swings it back, and it doesn't go forward. Wrong door. It's the other north.
Well, it's not my fault. The GM pinged that one. Right.
Matt, can you move me? I appear to be stuck in the room. I feel like my companions have closed the door and locked it. To keep me inside some kind of control. Who's there, guys?
Wait for me. Cool. Let me.
Nice
there's a blocking volume on there. Beautiful. Right. So you're going to open the door to the north, yes, to the up.
We're going to all the exciting places.
Yeah.
You are, aren't you? You're really
storerooms, empty barracks.
So this one actually is interesting. It's in immaculate condition. It looks like it's been recently cleaned up. A crisply made bed. The military ones amongst you will certainly appreciate the corners on those particular sheets. And there are small tables off to either side of the bed. And the room contains a stone desk, which you can see off to your right-hand side, with a chest and a chair. Basically, as you see it.
What's that piece of paper?
So you have a little look on the desk. There is a bottle of dried ink, several used quills. There are 5 sheets of blank parchment, but they're not the interesting things. No. The interesting thing is a piece of paper with a faded message on it. It's written in archaic. You guys can't speak Draconic. Archaic Elven, or a strange.
I speak modern street Elven. Maybe I can translate.
It'll take you a couple of minutes. You look at it and you go, you know when you sort of like see medieval texts and stuff, and you're like, how did anyone ever read that? And then you really have to study it. It's that kind of feeling to it. So
all the F's look like S's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you're like, exactly something. What's wrong with?
So you would have to spend a good few minutes kind of piecing together the meaning of the note. None of you have.
I would, guys, but there's a chest there. Can we do that afterwards?
There's also like an unexploded stone table.
Yeah.
Like, are there rooms on the back of that chest or things like that? I'm a guard down here.
We'll take the letter and bring that with us, and we can read that as we go.
As we go, yeah.
Yeah, and that stone chest is probably worth a look, because if there's any kind of secrets to be had, they wouldn't have just left them on top of the desk. You know, when you said recently, Matt, goes back to Gaz's question before. Is that like recent as in the last time the adventurers were here, or recent as in 100 years ago when the world ended?
In terms of how pristine this room is.
And how much dust is laying on top of the bed, for example?
There is a little bit of dust on this bed, so that would indicate to you that it was made, and it was made not when the adventurers were here last. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the Ergon and his friend didn't actually come to this part of the laboratory. You believe that they headed off to the other side, because don't forget they had dire warnings of animated objects like animated suits of armor. So you think, looking at this, that this bed was made. If all the myths and legends are correct, this laboratory was thrown down from a floating island in the sky and smashed into the ground, which may be why some of the things are broken and in rubble. But this particular place has been, this particular room has been tidied up neatly and tidily since that event happened.
Right.
Okay. There's a part of Yin'beros' mind which thinks that the letter probably says don't open the box because it will explode, but the other part of his mind goes, we should open the box. Come on, he's going to open the box.
Have a quick look in the box, mate. We'll take that letter with us and we'll move to the south.
Okay. Yeah. Make me a perception check. And I think it's going to need to be a good one. Not that I want to ratchet the pressure up or anything.
Yeah, no pressure, guys. How about that? A 5.
5 is not going to float the boat, I'm afraid. Okay. You lowered into a false sense of security by the previous footlockers. You look at it, cursory glance. There's no trap here. It's not even locked. Flip it open, and then you kind of like hear an ancient dusty rattle. And you look down, expecting to see gold, riches, treasure, magic items. No, there is a swarm of dead snakes, and they are rearing up and lunging out at you. They are going to get
like out of a peanut carton.
They're going to get a surprise attack on you, Yin'beros, and then we'll have a quick roll for initiative. He hits 18.
That's a hit.
Which is going to be a hit. So that is going to be 7 of your finest damage. Plus, you must make a con save, or you're going to take another 14 points of poison damage.
Wow.
What?
Should have the poison ethicated by now.
Do I have inspiration currently, Matt?
You absolutely have inspiration.
Then I am going to use it, sir. Because that sounds like a horrendous amount of damage to take in one go.
I am totally cool. So you want a con check, mate?
Just a con check?
Sorry, yeah. Yep.
That's me, sorry.
Yeah, no, good, got you.
Do you want me to do my...
Yeah, you might as well, and then I can kind of fold us straight into whether you're going to...
That was... Oh, great. Yeah, I'll take the higher of the two and get an 8.
I am sorry about that, bud, but you are, basically going to take... like, you can feel this chilling ancient venom slowing your muscles, and with a panic, you feel it reaching for your heart, its fingers caressing at your heart. But it stops just short. Make me a dex, initiative test, Matt, and then we'll roll straight in.
Sure, yeah, no worries.
Snakes.
Why did it have to be snakes? Well, I'm going to die quickly.
Your heart gets popping faster, and the venom just goes on quicker.
You're going to get the heck out of... Right, cool. Yeah, so you were caught surprised. This thing slammed into your hand, but you get to react.
Well, my reaction is going to be falling over because I think I failed my constitution save and I've taken, did you say 14 points of poison damage?
Yeah, 14 points of poison damage.
All right, well, I can duck that, or literally, as I collapse to the ground.
Okay, so in which case, Nassri, you've just seen Yin pop open a chest, you hear a rattle, and then you hear another kind of thump, and then you look around, it's Yin'beros on the floor.
I guess I need to make a death save, don't I, on my action?
Tell him not to wear that dress.
Yeah.
Okay, I shall rush up then with iron shod boots and a heavy hammer and start trying to smash all the bones of these snakes.
Smash of the bones of the snake. Cool. Swing your... Oh, God, that's 2 saves, Yin. That's 2 fails.
I know.
Come on, mate.
What are you doing?
Right.
Dying.
That is going to be a hit. And 10 points of damage is going to be great. Yeah, you smash in loads of kind of snake bones flying everywhere. There's a writhing mass of them in there. Lamul, you've just seen Nassri piling into the room. What are you going to do?
Yin, come on, buddy. Come on, keep breathing, stay with me. And by the back of the neck and drag him out into the corridor.
Okay.
And then give him CPR.
Fair enough. That is great. Snakes are going to lash out at Nassri as they start spilling out this side of the chest. Oh my goodness gracious me!
Stabilize you in.
Going to hit, and that is going to be well, con save, please, mate, and then we'll work out what the 14 points of piercing damage as this snake comes out and grips your throat, and its fangs clamp into your windpipe.
It doesn't really matter what the poison damage is then, because that's me unconscious anyway.
Are you unconscious as well?
Way.
I've got resistance against poison stuff, but that doesn't matter if it does 14 piercing damage because it's game over.
Wow, that's horrific.
These things are insane. Yin.
Well, I think I've been stabilised by
Yeah, I've been stabilized.
Fantastic.
So
Okay.
I think I'm on 0 right now.
Cool. Nassri, you're going to have to make a death save because you're on the floor.
All right, now there's a way of doing this on this sheet, wasn't there?
So
You go to your hit points.
Put yourself at 0 hit
Zero.
points, and then click on the skull, and then click on the little red, really small D20 in between the two.
All right, gotcha.
Ooh.
That looks like
That there will be an X, I'm afraid. Lamul, Nassri's down, Yin's down. You can hear Nassri kind of coughing.
No. This is all moving far too fast. I'm patting down every pouch I've got on both me and Yin as well, looking for healing potions anywhere. Have I got any? Did he tell me he had some? Where did he keep it? What's this dagger? Throw
over his shoulder.
Found a cursed dagger in his belt. Bloody Yin'beros. Right,
Cool.
ignoring you then. Right, in we go. Nassri, are you down?
yes.
I'm going to reach over,
Yeah.
grab her by the collar, and try and throw her behind me back into the corridor.
Are you trying to avoid being hit by the snakes that are spilling over the side?
Yeah.
You are. Describe to me how that looks.
So from the doorway, I'm a big fella.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can pluck her out of the snakes, keeping my left arm with my big old regimental round shield to get snakes to be battering
smashing.
against it.
Okay, tell you what, make me a strength check, because obviously reaching across and pulling up someone in in chainmail and heavy boots.
Can I call athletics on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
Or
Yeah.
easily. Yeah, you just scoop her up and slide her behind you, like with your shield firmly in tow. A couple of undead cobras kind of come over the top, but you just sort of fend them off, and you drag her to safety. I don't think the snakes are that bothered about pursuing you. They are just writhing around inside this chest. So we're over to Yin, who has been stabilised. Nassri, who needs to make a death save. And that is good. And back on you, Lamul.
Right. Nassri, don't go into the light. Stay with me. Both hands on her chest. Poof.
I can see Morigen's face.
Where do I suck out the poison?
From her neck.
Stabilised you. Right, you two. Oh, Jesus, I'm in charge.
Fantastic. Stabilisation achieved.
Well done.
We're in a stabilisation nation.
Cool.
Pull
Okay,
that
we'll
door
we'll drop out of initiative. The snakes aren't pursuing you. They are writhing around in the chest. And
no.
in wonderful GM temptation mode, you did notice both Yin when you come round and Lamul when you leant over. There looks to be hundreds of gold in this chest.
Oh, get off. Oh, right. Okay. Using a little bit. I'm going to squat in the corner and have a little bit of a cry while no one's looking, because Lamul is a very unhappy Goliath at this point.
I bet he is.
Both my mates are down. I don't really like being in charge and having to make decisions. I'll pat them down and see if they've got any. If we have healing potions, happy days. I don't think we do.
I kept one for Nassri. She wouldn't take it, but
where
I made sure
it
was like in my top pocket, so it would grab it. I did say that we could use that if we needed it if she fell over.
I was looking in other places.
Yeah. I can't believe you found the dagger.
Right, I find the little vial then with the bubbly red warm liquid in it,
Nice.
slightly smelling of cinnamon. I'm going to tip that into your blue lips, Come on, Yin'beros. Come on. I'm going to crack you around the cheeks a few times. Hold your nose. Come on.
I didn't steal the biscuits. Oh, what? Oh.
So that's a healing potion. So what's that?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Do
you want me to do it? Okay, there's 2d4 plus 2, 6 points back for you.
6 points back. You come around coughing and spluttering, the taste of cinnamon on your lips. It's a bit weird.
I didn't steal the biscuit. Oh, where?
No, you bloody
Snakes, Lamul. What's going on?
Yin, I need you to focus, and I'm going to turn your head to look at Nassri's prone body beside you, and then back at me. She's out cold. You're not much better off.
That's okay. We've got a healing potion that we can get her.
Yeah, we just kind of throw that over my shoulder.
We can get the cleric up and she can use her spells. No!
Always there with the thinking.
The whole point was that I get her up and then she gets you up and... Oh,
I
dear.
hit myself in the head with my fist. Stupid.
Is she going to die? I'll look her over and kind of not know where to
I
look.
don't know, man. I don't know. I've never seen her like this before. I'm worried. It's the poison. We might have to suck it out.
All right. Okay. Where do we start? I know. We could put her in a bed. There's a nice one. No, we aren't going there. What about those beds that have been there for a while? We could at least make her comfortable and warm.
Oh, come on, man. I think the best we could do is, and I'm going to heft her up over my shoulder, fireman's lift styly. Let's see if we can find something that will help her out in this complex. She'll wake up soon enough. I think she's going to be okay. She's got a strong heartbeat. You'll be all right, Nassri. You're just going to wake up looking down my back at my bum as we're walking along.
We could put her in the room with the beds and we can close the doors and stay there until she wakes up.
We haven't got time, man. We haven't got time. We need to find the antidotes.
Well, unfortunately, I think unless you're going to cure her magically, she is going to effectively be unconscious. Is it D4 hours or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
About an hour, I think. Something like that, mate. Yeah. It
could be technically she's having a short rest right now, isn't she?
Yeah. Let me roll a D4 and get a 3. So, you're going to be out for 3 hours without magical assistance.
And we don't actually know that, do we? We just know she's going to be out.
You're going to be out, yeah.
Right.
We need to hold up, Lamul.
We need magical assistance.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to get standing in this corridor. Come on, man.
No.
Let's move. Let's go.
All right, okay.
Let's go and find the top dog's office. They'll always have potions, probably in a desk drawer or something. They're bound to have.
That's true. Let me read that note. I bet it said avoid the snakes. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure I saw gold in there before it all went dark.
That gold isn't going to get us where we need to be.
But there might be potions in there.
There might be, but they're underneath all the poisonous snakes.
Oh, yeah. We could use the bedclothes to capture them.
Read the note.
All right. I'll read the note.
We've moved 30 feet from where we started this game.
So you what are you doing? Putting Nassri in the bed over here where the 4 beds were, is that right?
Apparently so, yeah. I think we might have to go and take the equivalent of a short rest anyway, mate.
You're going to need at least a short rest, but I rather suspect you're staring down the barrel of a long rest at the moment. But let's read the note. And then we can kind of see where we get to. So after as I say, a couple of minutes putting it together, you think the gist of the note reads something like, "To whoever finds this, all my people are dead. My family, my friends, and my workers. I too am dead. Were it not for my quick thinking and prowess with necromancy and black magic, our important work at the Sass Vault would be over. I continue to labour in my undead form, tirelessly trying to find a sickness that can infect the gods themselves. If I have perished, I implore you to find my laboratory, find my notes, finish my work. The gods must pay for Aor's destruction." And it's signed off with a flourish. Feral Sal is the name at the bottom of the note.
Feral Sal. Okay.
Sal the necromancer. Ugh, that sounds pretty ugly. He's trying to poison the gods.
That's ambitious.
He should spend his time raising a family like other necromancers.
This is why we keep you around, Yin'beros. For the
I'm conscious.
Right, okay. Right, looks like we're going to hunker down there. So I'm going to put Nassri in the bed. I'm going to get like a nice cloth and some of my cold water and put that over her forehead and stand vigil beside her bed for the whole night.
I'm going to Does the door open inwards or outwards? Could we barricade the door one of the beds just in case someone comes checking? Like there's other zombies that can manipulate.
You
doors.
absolutely can barricade the door. It does swing into that small room.
Cool.
And just looking around, there is nothing that's going to kind of creep up on you.
Yeah, that's what all DMs say.
You can dig that carpet out overnight.
That's what this was all about all along, wasn't it?
Delaying tactics.
Let's make something interesting happen, though. So, are you taking a long rest?
Well, we're going to set out for one, and we'll see.
You're
how it
going to
goes.
set out for one.
Yeah, I think our main aim is to be here for Nassri when she gets up. Although I will make a mention on more than one occasion.
Way through a long rest in a few hours, maybe Nassri will be feeling better.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's much quieter with Nassri sleep.
I think that what would be interesting would be partway through the night, or the night as you see it, as you're trying to get some rest and you're worriedly watching Nassri and hoping that she comes round, you can feel a slight tremoring, nothing dramatic, and then a slipping feeling, and you realise that what was a gentle slope from top to bottom of the map as you look at it is actually increasing, and you feel a little bit as if there's a lurch, and then it stops as if held by something. But now the angle of the floor is noticeable.
Wow.
It wasn't
So,
me.
if you are, let's say, if you are moving up the screen, it's going to lose you 5 feet of movement. If you're moving down the screen, it's going to gain you 5 feet of movement.
Okay.
Useful.
Nassri would know more about this than I do. She'll have stone cunning and stuff, but the wrong character's unconscious.
Another reason why we need to get her awake.
Should have been you, man. Should have been you.
Well,
I was
after
unconscious. You just fed the wrong potion. You fed the potion to me, Level.
Well, write a name on it next time, will you?
A short while after the slight
That's
subsidence, Nassri, you do blink your eyes open and come round. The last thing you remember was this snake launching itself at your throat. You are in the room that you recognise, laid down on the bed. The others are there, making a bite to eat, mutteringly, in hushed tones, and the door is barricaded with the remnants of a bed.
I'll just awaken, like sitting bolt upright, shout, Moradin!
Nassri, I'm really sorry. I messed up, Nassri. I couldn't think. I thank the gods you're all right. You've returned to us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think it was favouritism. He woke me first.
I'll just shake my head sadly at the big life. No, I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Oh, there's snakes in that chest. Be careful.
Okay.
I'll be better next time. I promise.
Do you want the good news or the really good news?
You've found the solution, and we're about to head back because we've found some really fast transport.
I think she might still have a temperature level. I think she might be a bit delirious. No, the good news is that we found a letter from a necromancer, and there's a lab.
Am I dead? Have you raised me?
and we probably need to find that lab because it might be where the solution is. And the really good news is that we didn't do it without you.
Right. I'll just look around sadly that I'm barricading the room with these two idiots. But at least they've kept me alive, so you know.
Spend your healing surges and let's be going.
Right, how do I do that?
So you guys are able to continue and take your long rest. So just hit the long rest button.
Cool.
I actually think. What level are you guys at the moment?
2.
You're level 2. I feel like you've done enough to go to level 3, but I don't necessarily want to slow us down.
I mean, it can't be that long, can it?
Yeah, quickly level up to level 3. In D&D Beyond, you just click a couple of buttons and it's mostly
It won't
hit points and stuff.
Manage levels.
Seeing as you're taking a rest and you have ventured into a dangerous magical laboratory and travelled hundreds of miles across the Arctic wilderness.
I've learned a lot in the last 30 feet, though.
You have definitely learned more in the last 30 feet.
It would be uneventful, but the last 30 feet were the killer.
Yeah. I mean, I died, so I feel like I've learned quite a lot.
Moradin's halls. Okay, so I've got to pick a martial archetype. That's my big choice by going to level 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a champion, make it super easy.
Sounds good.
And that'll enable me to crit on 19s and 20s, I believe.
Beautiful.
Apart from that and some hit points, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a very simple thief archetype. I might have considered arcane trickster, but I really don't have the time for that.
That's fair enough. So you're going for the cloth-eared thief approach.
Yes, I am. Yeah, all done.
Cloth-eyed.
A little bit of both.
Do I add an archetype, and which number is that under?
You don't get an archetype, I don't think, as
That's why I can't find it then.
Yeah.
You do get second level spellies, though.
You get second level spells
more than anything else, mate.
Okay.
Because you now get to, because Moradin will have given you access to a whole host of new choices when you wake up.
Yeah. So I was having some kind of fever dream, and when I wake up, I was like, oh, now I understand.
Yeah.
I bet one of them was going to be like cure poison or something.
Snakes.
That's it. Turn snake.
Is it protection versus rogue?
I must have some extra spell slots or something turned up as well. Oh, I've got an extra spell slot. Oh, that's nice.
Cool. Right, so just while Nassri works out what blessings Moradin has bestowed upon her, you come round after a fitful night, but still a night of rest. Your kind of pitons and bits of debris by the bed are relatively unchanged, so you think the night has passed without incident.
I will remove the barricade from the door, cautiously open it, and have a look outside, just in case.
It's open because we're at an angle now.
Yeah, that's true. Just in case there's wall-to-wall zombies out there hearing us snoring.
Yes. So staggering up against the slope, you kind of poke your head out into the corridor. Look left and right. You can't see anything at all. Nothing seems to have changed.
All right.
We're all good.
Nassri, the other thing that happened overnight was that there was some kind of subsidence or something, or an ice quake. And I'm sure you've noticed it, but this whole complex is slightly on the tilt, and I think it's getting worse. So that puts us under even more time pressure.
Yeah.
The good news is we are heading downhill.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
Or at least it is if we go around that corner.
So
for now, until we have to run out with the prize, which is all uphill.
Yin will just smack his forehead because he's been here for 8 hours. He went, the rug. Oh.
Bye-bye.
Right,
come on, you two.
All right.
It's a new day.
Okay. Where are you heading to? All right. Are you going down the banging on the doors routine again?
Are we going to trust doors? Because
last time, why wouldn't?
Yeah, well, it kind of did and kind of didn't it?
I don't know how Yin'beros, how you can walk past this door without wistfully looking and thinking of that threat.
I most definitely can't. But I now recognise it's probably beyond my ability to open. This is a big stone door and it's kind of resting heavy against the frame. I'll be like, there is gold in there.
Plus, we've also got him tied to a very short rope.
Bungee. Did I mention there's gold in there as well?
You did. We can pick it up on the way out.
Right,
okay. Right. Big bang on this here door. Morning. Morning.
Zombie lets his dog out.
Yeah, you bang on the door, and at first you think that there's nothing going on, and then slowly but surely you can hear the crunching sound of broken rubble being shifted by ancient feet, and then these dusty hands bang on the door. Weirdly, you knocked twice and they knocked exactly the same.
I'll knock 3 times. We'll like kind of see if I can get.
No, they just banged twice. It was pure coincidence.
Thought we'd have a game there.
Hello.
Right, well.
Hello.
You bang on that door and put your ear to it, and a bit like when you put your ear to a shell, you can hear the sound of the ocean. You swear you can hear the sound of water lapping in that room, but there's no response to your banging.
Okay. What do you say, lads?
Well, we got to open it, surely.
Push it open, man. Let's see what happens.
A beach.
Yeah.
You're going to open that door up, are you? Oh, exciting. Okay. Let's just shift the.
I'll be the judge of that.
camera down here. Let me just get my reveal button here. Dink.
All my new spells sound really nice. It's all like gentle repose and, toys like to read by and things like that.
A pleasant rest. Yeah.
I mean, I also get access to find traps, but I think we do that just by like looking in chests with our heads. I think that's how we
rolling over onto them.
Okay, so the door
divine knowledge, is it?
Into a large opening of a ruined room. You suspect that this was once a library. There is along the north and the east walls ancient waterlogged books that are kind of spilling from cracked stone shelves. You can see things bobbing around in the water, and that's what you see.
Books.
A dark, murky, icy water that's like as the lake invades into the library.
Okay. So the library's been tipping down towards this water the whole time, hasn't it? So, right, that ain't good. And I guess we can see that there's a piece of dry land around this way, yeah?
Yes, you can, yeah.
I sort of step in and go to the water's edge and sort of scope out as much as I can. Oh, I can't go through your door.
Can't go through the door.
Can you up? All right, let me just... okay.
So I plan to look at the shelves and see if there's how to make milky solutions to fix the frozen woe, kind of the frozen woe, how I did it or how I had to reverse it, kind of recipe books that I can
find. You're what, flicking through the books?
I'll just look at the covers and see if I can find information about the frozen woe.
Make a perception check while you're in there.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
Oh,
natural 20.
Yes, you will. You're looking at the books. It is that very ancient, archaic script, making it incredibly difficult to read, and the water damage is quite extensive. So you look for some time, and you're sure. Yin'beros is quite sure. You spent a long time looking, at least 5 or 6 seconds, before you deem that none of these books are useful at all. But what does catch your eye is the movement of something large in the water, and you see like a snake-like object moving through the water towards you, and you step back
and
as
put my hand in front of Lamul and go, snake!
As a blue, icy cold tentacle with grasping suckers on the bottom of it is reaching out towards you. What are you going to do?
Jump back and scream out, snake or something like it. Look out.
No problem.
I'm going to slam the edge of my shield down on it and sever it.
Nice.
Okay, let's see what that looks like.
You want me to roll?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, mate. $20 to hit sounds good.
20 to hit does sound good.
One-handed.
Okay, so you slam your shield down on it, and you basically hack a long way through. I mean, your shield is not designed for cutting, and you've gone a long way through this tentacle. You yank it out, filthy black ichor sprays out, and suddenly the water in the middle of the room erupts in a frenzy as a large creature surfaces, and 6 or 7 tentacles just come grasping out, reaching for you. So we can roll for initiative now, and
Moradin!
I set my sights a little lower. Nassri!
Okay, Yin on 18, Nassri on 12, Lamul on 20. Right, Lamul, it's you go, mate.
Okay, right, finally, something I can deal with. I'm going to wade out into the freezing cold water, banging my longsword on my shield. Come on then, you cephalopod! I'm going to drive my longsword into his eyes.
Okay.
I'm going to make a will save not to go mad at that word.
I rushed round, so it's going, I was like, what?
So as you wade out into the water, you kick to one side what looks to be a watertight scroll case. It goes further out into the water as you hack at the octopus and you flail and miss. Yin, you to go.
I'm not going to wade out quite as far, just as far as I need to get, really. So because I'm not quite so sure about the depth of this water. The swords come out, and I'm going to make a single attack against the octopusy thing.
Okay.
While still wondering what the hell a cephalopod thing is.
Cool.
Pretty sure I need to check. We'll need to check that
You
later.
don't meet many of them in the mountains. In fairness, I just read it.
No. Okay, there's a 20.
20
For 8 piercing plus 10 sneak. How about that? As I shove that blade deep in.
Okay. That is grand. You feel a chilling cold creep into your bones. It's like your pound coins are turned into halfpennies almost instantly. If you're going to end your turn there, need to make a con save, or you're going to suffer the very terrifying consequences of exhaustion.
Well, it's only a little way in, so I could probably. Do you know what? I'm a rogue. I'm going to use my bonus action, cunning action, to withdraw out to get to hit. Right to by the books, basically, if I can. That's
Wonderful. Nassri.
I am going to fire my light crossbow into any eyeball or similar appendage I can see.
Okay, I like it. That is a hit.
2 piercing damage.
But not a lot of damage.
Right in the sucker.
It is going to reach to you, Lamul. It is going to try and grasp you with its tentacles. 15?
15 is not going to be enough to get through my chain and shield.
Fair enough. In which case, you can respond as these tentacles kind of lash out at you.
Okay, right. I think I've got the measure of it now. So there's tentacles everywhere. It's going to be slashing left, slashing right. My long sort of blur activity. Action surge. I get to do it again because I'm getting worse and worse at this.
Yeah! Well, there we go.
Mighty.
2 for aiming, 1 in
the ridiculous to the sublime.
Cool.
12 damage, mate.
So 12 damage was that?
Yes.
Fantastic. This you plunge your sword deep into it. You can feel it spasm underneath you, and the tentacles convulse. Yin, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go as I go in through the cold water. When I get to there, I'll think about grabbing that scroll case, but realise there's an octopus in the way, so I'll attack the octopus first.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Roll 20. Thank you so much.
Nice.
It's not as much as it looks like, so that's 7 in total.
7's great. Yeah, I mean, this thing is slowing down dramatically, and the life force is draining out of it.
Cunning action to spring back out of the water again.
You're gonna spring back
in
out.
and out.
Fine. Are you? I guess you're using a disengage or a.
Yeah, so bonus action to disengage. So I've moved in, make an attack, and then I've got my cunning action.
Sounds good. Nassri.
Shoot it again with my crossbow as I ratchet it furiously.
Okay.
And, man, dinger.
7 is not going to hit it. It's big, but yeah, that's not going to do it. It is going to try and still grab Lamul. It is not a bright creature. It's not going to... It's just you're fending it off easily with your shield. The tentacles are weakly grasping at you, Lamul.
Okay. So it's got all of its tentacles around the edge of my shield. So I'm going to push my longsword under my shield and into its, it's all soft underbelly, really, isn't it, I suppose?
Yes, it
It's
is.
the way up.
It's entirely soft underbelly. So it's that octopoid. 23 to hit for 10 slashing damage.
Wonderful. You punch her into it, and as you pierce through the blubbery flesh and go deeper and deeper, you can feel your sword meeting minor resistance as it's hitting internal organs and like the thick kind of gelatinous bone structures inside of it, and then suddenly pop, you're through the other side. You yank it out sideways, and the octopus in its death throes spasms its ink sac out, and the pool just floods with black ink, stinks to high heaven of like dead fish as the octopus slowly slips back into the water.
Ew.
I think,
Lamul!
so you've spent 3 rounds in the water, Lamul. I think that's reasonable for you to now make a con save.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
it is against cold, so I think
I am mountain born as a Goliath.
yeah. So basically, I've given you a couple of rounds of free action in there, but you can still have your advantage on the con save because
Advantage, yeah. So as the adrenaline starts to go down,
yeah,
let's have a look. See
you're
what
good.
I've got.
You're good.
16, please.
Yeah, no problem. The frigid water doesn't phase you at all.
I feel like dragging it out by a tentacle and hauling it up onto land.
What
But
towards the
I'm
necromancer?
going to resist that feeling because I've just looked at Nasri's face.
Did anybody see that scroll case? There was something floating out there. I'll have a look around for that scroll case.
Yeah, it's bobbing out there. I think you could get to it, but you might have to
memory's better than your
swim
eyes.
for it.
Might have to swim for it. Did you say?
Yeah, as you were fighting in amongst this sort of like side of the octopus, the water was kind of coming up to sort of just below your belt line. So you think where the scroll case is, that might be a little bit deeper. So you might end up.
It's all right, Yin'beros. I'll get it. I'm wet anyway. I'll wade out into the water.
Can I cling onto your back? In like a papoose or something? That'd be cool.
If you want. I'm capable. I should be capable of picking up a scroll case.
All right.
I'm going to plunge my head under the water. Bubbles go everywhere. Have a look round in the murky water.
And you grab hold of the case. Okay, so you're going to you are going to find the case, but you are going to make another con save for me with advantage because of your Goliath background.
Job.
You are fine. You are fine. So you come stomping out, water cascading off you. You hold out the scroll case to whoever wants to grab it.
This looks like what's her face coming out of the water in the James Bond film, right?
Exactly like that.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig coming out of the water.
Yeah, that's you.
Daniel Craig.
In my white vest and my shorts.
I was thinking Lady of the Lake.
Swinging my hair, my bald head from side to side.
Yeah.
While all that's going on, I want to have a look at the sort of books that are about as well and see if there's anything that seems useful. Bear in mind that I can't read High Elven, Draconic, or any other language you've asked me to read so far. But
I think the thing that is immediately obvious to you is that these books are ruined beyond repair. The water that's lapped into them. Yeah.
No,
Try this, Nasri. I'm going to toss you a solid cylinder that should have some dry paper inside if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Be careful. I like suspicious because it might be big enough to hold a horde of undead snakes.
I'll hand it up to Yin'beros.
One, like straightened out.
Yeah. You never know. They could be really small.
Squished in there. I'll hand that to Yin'beros. I want to check, is this water they've got, that's just like endless, is it? Is this the outside beyond the broken wall?
This is the outside, and in actual fact, this area over here that you noticed was land is thick with snowdrift. So you think that that's an externally facing area as well.
Interesting.
The lake does disappear off. It's probably about a mile in length, going back in the direction that you travelled from. Big kind of like fjord style lake.
Flank, so much now.
Yep.
Okay, well that narrows our search. This is kind of good news, I think.
It is, yeah.
It does indeed, yeah.
So what are you thinking? Like head back to this door here and like retrace our steps and.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do
you want to check this scroll first to see if there's anything useful in it?
Yeah,
sure. I'll look it over.
I'll keep an eye on the water to make sure there's nothing else sculling towards us, like angry pelicans or something, or those ice methods.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll kind of open the scroll case away from me in case something pops out like a...
Nothing pops out. You kind of reach inside. There's a couple of scrolls. You make an Arcana check.
Oh.
It looks like magic and stuff.
It's definitely more magic-y than anything else.
I guess technically I could try it, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, you're probably as good as me, to be honest.
Easy, whizzy, something about biz. I don't know. It's just squiggles and words and stuff. I think it's a wizard thing.
I mean, Yeah, look, you think it's a pair of the scrolls are the same. They cast the same spell. There's two of them.
Right.
You think it's something about finding magic or something?
Oh, it's a magic scroll to find magic. That seems a bit weird. Wouldn't it just find itself? Oh well. Oh, do you want it, Nassri?
I guess I'll keep hold of it.
We can use it as tinder if we need to, or at least light a fire with it or something.
I've heard
Magical
people,
fire, maybe.
people are hoarding paper for their bums, so I've heard recently, so I'll take good care of that.
All right.
Right, well, I'm going to head off after Lamul. Was you going to go back and take out those doors?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Prepare
Operation
yourself, my
Open
friends.
Door.
Yeah. Now, this is the one where there's moaning and synchronized knocking, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm going to get ready. I've got my sword
Clean the ink off my sword.
and my dagger ready. And
Okay. Are you kicking
In
the
the
door in,
corner.
are you?
We're going to go in hard and fast. Flashbangs the whole lot.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Bang! You kick the door open. Let's hit a nice bit of reveal. Lumbering across the ubiquitous rubble that denotes this area are two of these zombies reaching towards you. You see a door to your left-hand side. It's uphill from where you are. Don't forget. And the zombies are going to shuffle right at you. You've got the option to ignore them if you want to, or you're rolling initiative. It's your choice. What are you going to do?
Should we close the door? Should we close the door? There's nothing in there.
No, there's another way. There's another way through. They've got to be
All
guided.
right, okay. All right, I've got your back.
Okay.
Oh, rubbish initiative.
There's worse. Look at them. They're shambling.
Yeah, they might be Alex Garland zombies.
That would be upsetting.
Now, remember, these things are nasty. They just don't know when to die.
Let's.
Glad you get them with my hammer.
I will teach them a lesson. They won't forget.
Oh, yeah, maybe it'd be better if I use like a big stick.
Let me roll for them. How fast are they going to be? Ooh. Faster than Yao.
Can you
Right.
cool down the power of Moradin now or something and burn them into little pieces or something?
Turn undead.
I will be able to in several minutes when it's my go.
Lamul, you are
Powering up.
as always, first through
Two
the door,
moons.
burst into the breach.
Turning.
Away you go, Lamul.
Straight in like a pile driver. And I cannonball this zombie and chop his legs out from underneath it.
Okay.
15 to hit for 7 slashing.
7 slashing. Beautiful.
Crunch. And I'm going to carry on with my momentum into that rocky pile between them.
Cool. You got any more for any more, or is that your lot?
That's my lot.
Okay. They are just going to close on you mindlessly. Both of them are going to try and slam you with their meaty fists. Oh, 20 is going to hit for 4 points of damage, and the other one is not going to hit.
4?
4 points of damage.
Cheeky, I'll remember him.
Yin, Lamul looks like he's getting swamped by 2 of them.
I got your back, Lamul, don't worry. Like I'm surging in, getting to the corner where I feel nice and safe and, I don't know, rat-like.
Lovely.
And then I'm going to strike out with my short sword. How about this, you? Too many clicks. Okay.
Yes.
14 hits. That will be my sneak attack for 17 on that zombie.
17. Glorious. In which case, I'm going to make a con roll. And 17 is a cracking amount of damage. And not even its undead fortitude can keep it going.
I'll beam from ear to ear.
That's the way to deal with them.
And I'll continue my movement so that I'm standing next to them all, and I'll give them a smile. Go on, fella. Let's take this one together.
Nassri.
Okay, lumbering somewhat, but helped by the tilt of the corridor, I can get us some momentum.
Yes.
to rush around and try and crack this one
Yeah.
with my warhammer. So let's see how that works out.
It feels like you're kind of trying to run on a ferry.
Yeah, I keep sliding as I'm going around the corner.
That is a bit when you go upstairs at an angle that I find the weirdest.
Yeah, that is a colossal hit, and instantly bloodies it, and it is going to pass to Lamul.
Okay, so from my perspective now, I can thrust my sword in between my companions. The three of us are going to put this back in the grave where it belongs. Take that.
Nice.
Yes.
5 slashing. Then I'm going to action surge to do it again.
Okay.
Counter swing.
Is it good for?
Second one's probably not so good with an 8.
8 is a hit. 8 is a hit.
Oh,
DC8.
wow.
For another 8 points of damage.
Yeah.
You. So, yeah, you carve into it 3 times, hacking away. Big, large lumps come out. This thing should have gone down, but seemingly it is still going as it lurches towards you again and tries to slam you because it is not the brightest spot. Oh, it's going to hit with a 20, though. Another 4 points of damage as it just rakes ancient fingernails across your face. Yin'beros.
On me?
On
Yeah.
you.
Wow. Okay. Is it Yin'beros now?
Yin'beros now,
Yin'beros. Okay, I'm going to go, get away from my friend. Oh, strike at it for, that's my sneak attack for AC 17 for 19. As
Oh,
I
19. I don't think it's going to... I don't even think it makes that with a natural 20. Was it 19 plus 5,
19
24,
damage.
and I've got
Awesome
23?
damage.
No, it. There's no way it's recovering from that. You lop its head off, and it goes skittering across the bouncing across the floor.
I'm going to stamp on it because otherwise it will just come after us like snapping across the floor.
Well known for it.
I use my cunning action to take an eloquent bow and go, that's
Yes.
how you do it.
That's the way to do it.
Right.
Okay. So
I'm all
now that
excited
the
now.
zombies have been dealt with, you see again remains of broken tables and chairs piled up along the south wall, and that's literally all you can see, other than the door to the north.
Right.
Spatial awareness suggests that it might be going into the same room as that other door where you heard noises. The what I assume is a kitchen or something with spoon throwing creatures.
Yeah, with cutlery based opponents.
Yes, indeed.
That's all right. Come on, big fella.
All right.
Getting warmed up, Lamul. Now you don't want to kill down too quickly, do you?
All right.
I
Put
don't
my
wanna-
shoulders in front, will you?
Yeah, if I could reach that, I would.
I'll kneel down.
Lamul, those wounds look pretty nasty. Are you all right where it punched you?
I'll be all right. I'll be fine. I've had worse from shaving. Come on.
All
Nassri's right. We got to press the advantage. So we're going to lumber up the slope to the.
Yeah, I'll drag myself up. God, there. Oh, I need a rest. Can we sit down at the top of the room for an hour?
Come on. Let's boot this door.
Okay. You heave the door open, and it opens up into an area. Now, unlike the other areas, this area doesn't have the light. But it kind of flickers on and off. So there's almost like a strobe effect going, and you can see in the strobe 4 sharp knives pop out of iron pots, pans, utensils. Frost-covered food just scattering across the floor, but it's the knives that kind of get your attention as they come whistling through the door at you.
What?
Mummy.
Who opened the door?
Attack. I opened the door with my foot.
You open the door with your foot. I hate to say it, but we're going to quickly go into initiative again because I don't think it's fair for you to get surprised because I dare say you were going in there with your eyes open, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're kind of on alert for hostilities now.
Yeah.
We're assuming hostilities because these are all the rooms that we checked that we knew there was noise behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian on 20, Nassri on 15.
There we go. 6 for me.
Oh, you what is your dex?
My dex. What, the stat or the mod?
Stat.
13.
Okay. Right, Yin, you're first to react as these out of the darkness, these knives suddenly pop up and start arrowing towards Lamul.
I can see in the darkness. Are they acting under their own volition, or is there something throwing them?
They are.
Okay.
Almost like
after
they're magically animated.
After Lamul has put his foot forward, I'll just sort of grab the door handle and go, nope, and close the door. And hear that go on the other side.
180.
Are we sure we need to go in there? There's some kind of weird effect in there. I doubt this. I mean,
so what it looked like? It looked like a kitchen of some sort, but obviously everything was just all scattered and it's like someone had picked a kitchen up and shaken it. Now,
I might not be the most experienced adventurer or chef, but you don't keep your disease solution in the kitchen, especially if it looks like milk, in case you put it in your cereal.
I am an experienced chef, and I guarantee you wouldn't. But what I'm finding unusual is that these things have been animated as if by some kind of life force in the same place that's keeping the dead walking as well. We heard sounds of animated armor, and that was in the that was what we heard from the old adventurers too.
Yeah, I think we need to head towards that, don't we?
Yeah.
So should we leave this door and those utensils?
Yeah, I think so. There's nothing to be found from there. We got to stay on target here. I suspect our goal, irritatingly, we should have maybe headed the other direction from the reception room.
Well, we want to know.
Okay.
We've at least given the knowledge that there's some kind of evil sorcerer still abiding here that's animating things. We need to get out from it.
Right.
And we found some scrolls that we could sell or use.
Let's hunt down that necromancer. He's got to be moving around in here somewhere. Got to be. Yeah. Let's go back to the to reception, and we're definitely on guard here, Matt. Okay, because we know that we heard the sounds of animated armor.
Yeah,
have a little listen up, see if anything's different, because that was yesterday. And either way, we're going through the door, but we want to be forewarned.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you approach that door with caution because you remember when you came into this place that the slightest sound seemed to create a response deeper into the darkness. You pull open this door that's in front of you, and I cannot do more than one thing at a time, so I will reveal it and then describe it to you. Again, stone tables lying in pieces on the floor. There's two open stone chests against that north wall, and there is a layer of fine sand inside the chest and the floor around it.
Maybe one end of the complex they put the woe, and then the other end they put the solution. Don't ask me why. I'm just trying to find logic in there being two chests in that room, other than maybe more gold and treasure and stuff.
Okay.
Check them out.
It's worth you investigating them, I think.
Yeah, make a. It says perception, but I think that's wrong. It should be an investigation check.
Okay.
As you're looking at the sand.
I mean, I'm tempted to think of it.
17.
17 is grand. You see what looks to be two sets of dwarf-sized boot prints around these chests. But they're also
thinking, Nassri?
Also seems to be just two sets of boot prints made by human-sized feet, and those seem to have kind of scratches on them, almost as if they were shod in metal.
So boot prints, our companions that came here, the adventurers, ergo. Those other ones, animated armor, right?
Could be. I mean, I've been fighting for 3 whole levels now, so do I know what plate mail-clad feet look like?
Yes, I don't see why not.
Right. Yeah, could be. See that outside of the cavalry units, but yeah.
Well, we're not going to find out by standing here.
I'm going to cast Detect Evil, if I may.
You absolutely may.
So I should be able to detect any aberration of celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, as well as where that creature is located. And similarly enough, there's a place or object within 30 feet that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
I'm going to act natural when I think of the dagger that I've got with me.
Yeah. Is that from where you're standing or from inside the room?
Well, it lasts up to 10 minutes as long as I concentrate. So it's from me.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it up for the next 10 minutes.
So
about a foot of stone will stop it, but otherwise, I should be good.
Okay, interesting. So as you come into the room carefully, because you do remember the need for being quiet, you start to feel a sensation of something that is undead in this room, feebly struggling. And then there's another sensation here, but then it fades away, almost as if it's walking away.
Okay. I shall relay this to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
There are more of the shambling corpses that we should not suffer to walk the planet beyond this door. But no other way to go around it.
When we need him, I guess.
I'll check the chests over carefully.
They are empty apart from that black sand that you saw up here in the destruction chamber.
Mm.
I literally cannot walk through the doors on your maps. It's very peculiar.
Really? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you can pick me up, but every time I reach a door,
Yes.
I'm so stupid to open it.
Yeah, I mean, Yin can't go through the doors either, which is even more embarrassing given his class.
Yeah. There we go. No problem. Should be fixed now.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so come on, man. There's more dead ahead of us, but we've no other choice but to go this way and through this door. So prepare yourselves.
Swords drawn. Let's do this.
Dead ahead is the right thing to say, I think.
After the first one, which took forever to die, we managed to dispatch the others pretty quickly. So I'm filled with confidence.
Booting the door open. Do me a favour while I unplug it. Roll initiative because there is going to be, as you know, some stuff in here.
Danger ahead.
There is danger ahead.
Oh, I was too busy thinking of gold.
I literally just told you to prepare yourself. You start daydreaming.
8-10 on initiative. Is that possible?
I just got distracted. I was thinking of the rug and the gold and
yeah.
All about the bling.
Right, so Nassri is 16, Lamul 14. Let's see what these guys are gonna end up with. Ooh, Nassri, what is your dex?
My actual dex is 10.
All right. Maybe they actually did hear you coming, because as you kick the door open, your panther-like reflexes on high tension, these suits of armor whir into action faster than you possibly could imagine, and whoever's going through the door first is going to get attacked. Who is that?
So I've opened it.
All right.
Well, I guess if we go also, it might be.
So I'm going to step you in. So these things are just going to step in and basically try and hack you to pieces. There is a lot of stuff coming your way. What's your AC, mate?
18. Big shield,
2
chainmail.
hits. So a total of 10 points of damage as they 2 attacks get underneath your shield and cut into the fleshy parts of your legs. Nassri, you've just seen
bloodied from that, which is not appealing.
That is upsetting for sure. I am going to cast Cure Wounds on my old army mate, I think.
Seems legit.
And heal 9 of his wounds.
9 back. Are you making any kind of move, or are you just plugging in behind him?
I think I have to touch him, so I'll just be hand on shoulder. And
Okay.
then I just want to quickly check if there's anything to do with bonus action.
All right.
Thanks, man.
I don't
Lamul.
think I need to get involved with that. That's fine.
Okay, so with the warmth of Moradin flooding in through my shoulder blades, I love it when he gives me a shoulder rub. I did tell you. I'm going to swish into these. Are these guys armed, or is it just armor with spiked gauntlets?
They have kind of ancient-looking short swords, one in each hand.
Oh, so it's all like archaic style, is it?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if a modern longsword can best ancient armor. Not that time it can't, but an action surge might prove me right.
Yes, it does. 9 points of damage. I assume you're going to hit the one closest to you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, maybe like a sort of like a van brace goes flying through the air, clangs off of the wall. Yin.
Go in low. Move up to next to my big friend here and attack the same one. Try to find a gap and presumably get to whatever's inside.
All right, go for it.
22 for a mighty 12 points of damage.
Lovely.
And as a bonus action, I will strike with my dagger as well, just because I can, although it won't be a sneak.
Okay.
This is not my special dagger, no.
23
twice
is a hit.
Just for 2.
2 points.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, you need to know you're now going to be at disadvantage to attack Yin'beros because I've got a protection.
Oh, smart. Okay, well,
shield is going to be in my right hand now because I'm ambidextrous. Obviously, I'm going to start attacking with my left hand.
Well, 2 of them are going to try and attack Yin'beros, so with disadvantage, 15.
It's going to hit me with even a 15.
And the second attack is going to miss you. That'll be 5 points of damage, I think. Okay. And then the one attacking you, Lamul, is going to... he's going to hit, mate. And he's going to hit hard. He's going to do 8 points of damage, bludgeoning damage.
No, he's not.
With a single blow. No?
No. Stone's endurance. So I was born of the mountains, and if I just steel myself and like tighten my muscles, I can reduce that damage by 6.
Nice.
Wow.
So just 2 points of damage from that. Nassri, you've just seen Lamul shrug off a blow that would have felled a lesser man.
Yeah, quite. I mean, this is what we used to do in the army. So, with the sneaky Yin'beros and the mountain like Lamul in the way, am I barred from making any kind of melee attack from where I am?
No, you can step in and attack. Otherwise, it's going to feel a little bit sad times. You can move through each other's zones.
Okay, so can I get to that corner? No, that I can't. Get to that corner. Is that the sort of thing you mean? Or...
Sure, why not? Yeah,
or
let's try and get the fight spilling around a little bit. Otherwise, it's just a kludgy fight.
Swirly melee, right?
Yeah.
So a swirly melee. What, melee? I'm melee. I'll hit him with my Warhammer.
12 just clangs off of the thick archaic plate armor. Lamul, you've seen Nassri taking the fight to the armored foe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. Both the guys on my left and right is where I like it to be now. I'm feeling good about this fight. Yeah. It's like being in a proper skirmish. They both gain advantage from my shield, and I'm going to be the man to put this armor down. I know my teammates are relying on me now, so eat longsword animated armor. Clang.
Clang.
Curse you.
Any more, or is it over to Yin'beros?
Yin'beros is next.
Okay.
All right. Well, you might have hit the armor, but hopefully it was enough of a distraction for me to get in there with my short sword. There's getting used to fighting side by side. I got 14.
That is not going to do it, unfortunately.
These things are like made of armor.
They're made out of plate armor. So what they're going to do
I will grab my my dagger and see if I can slide it in between the greaves.
Okay.
21 for 2. There you go.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a little tickle.
2 points of damage.
Snap another little level of strap off or something. Or...
Yeah. Taking it off a piece at a time.
A few rivets tinkle to the floor. So this one here is going to turn his attention to you, Nassri. And try and hit you.
I'm going to apply disadvantage to Nassri because I can't do it to both of them. I've just realised. So I'm going to try and get my shield in the way to make him roll with disadvantage.
Okay, so the lowest roll on that was the 20, so that's going to hit. The second attack was a 15. What's your AC?
18.
18. So one hit for 5 points of damage, and then the 2 attacks slamming into
And why don't they run away?
5 points of damage. Oh, holy guacamole. That is going to be 5 plus... just 1. 6 points of damage as this sword comes arcing in on a perfect angle.
Bloodied and battered and broken.
Nassri.
Don't worry, I won't let you down.
I'm going to shout to Moradin to bless us all.
Yes. We could do with it.
Come on, Moradin.
3 creatures, so that'll be all of us lot then.
Yeah.
Whenever we make an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, we get a D4 and add that to the number roll.
Lovely.
Attack or saving roll. So I'll just do that.
Okay. Lamul, you feel the blessing of Moradin be bestowed upon you.
No, I'm a believer now. Right. Eat longsword. I'll add a +4 D4 to this if necessary.
I'll tell you if you need it. You don't need it.
Can't get there, can I?
No.
This is difficult.
Lemon difficult.
Matt, I'm going to spend my inspiration.
Yes.
Okay, to make that. Can I get a reroll, please, buddy?
You certainly can.
Thank you. I just feel like we need to put 1 down just to turn the tide.
Oh,
critical.
Inspiration
Every
well
time
spent.
inspiration.
Tell you what, have the inspiration back straight away for the critical that drops the animated armor.
Cool. Awesome.
You must sever a key strap that's holding it all together, and the magic dissipates almost instantly, and it clatters to the floor. It is Yin'beros. You go.
I'm going to step through the empty space. There we go.
I'm going to dance around it, so I end up next to Lamul, and still leave a space for Nassri to step on the other armor, give her a bit of height, to get to him. And then using the blessing of Moradin, going, "This is what piety is like." I'll say as I strike at it.
Yes, it's a hit. You don't need the blessing.
20 and that's a nice amount of damage. That's 17 points of damage with a sneak.
17.
Christ.
And then the dagger. I'm already applying the +4 because I can do that in D&D Beyond, actually, which is quite nice. So, boom. 18, but for tickling it again, pulling away at the straps. From
18 is still a hit. That is indeed exactly what you need to hit for future reference. It is.
We've got this.
It's going to try and beat you back towards this old furnace, and it's going to slam into you a couple of times. And oh my goodness, 2 18s are definitely going to hit. So that's 10 points of damage.
Is this to me?
On you, Yin'beros.
Okay, that first blow drops me to the ground.
Okay, the second blow therefore will kick you 5 feet, and it'll step into the breach.
Just about shouting, believing Moradin as I see him collapse the ground again.
Nassri.
Believe in more.
Nassri. Yin'beros has gone down under a flurry of blows.
Yes, he has. Okay. So, let me just double check something in my list of stuff. I'm sure I can do that. I think I've got a magic touch. Yes, there we have. It's an action, though. I'll kind of glance at Lamul and say, "You can take this thing, can't you?"
Just leave it to me. Literally leave it to me.
So I'll rush around and start grabbing Yin'beros away and use my divinity to preserve his life.
Brilliant. As you scramble over precisely that square, you notice something. It is a pair of human feet sticking out from a pile of rubble, and you can see them faintly moving.
Maybe still, yeah.
But you can carry on with your action.
Okay, so I present my holy hammer to him and press it to him, and you can store 15 hit points.
Oh, right, nice.
Boom.
Okay.
I didn't take it. You can't prove it.
The biscuit back.
Lamul.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to bash this thing repeatedly with my shield, like some kind of fantastic Captain America. I'm going to push him back onto that anvil and bend him over it.
Okay. Yes. No.
But no, not today.
Not today. Not today.
Even more. I'm going to sweat that inspiration though. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Sometimes always the charm.
Not this time. Not even with your bless. Yin'beros, you're feeling back. You're back.
Recovering quickly, I'll roll, kip up, and then thrust forward with the short sword.
Okay.
From the dead.
Not quite, but I don't want to prove you right. 18. For
18
13.
is going to be a hit. For how much?
13.
Lovely.
And I'll look around, see my dagger, and flip it into the thing if I can. Probably won't, but you never know. Oh, look at that! With the bless, that's a 29. For a mighty 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage is all you need to
thrust that blade right into the eye slit.
Yeah, straight in. You can feel it kind of fizz a little bit, and then it just clatters to the ground.
Stay down.
Cool.
I'll thrust my hammer once again into Yin'beros' face. Kiss the hammer, praise Moradin. Kiss the hammer, praise.
I'm kissing.
All right. How long's that bless last for? Is it a minute?
A minute, yeah.
All right. So you've used 3 out of your 7 rounds. Okay. Depending on what you're going to do in here. So this piles of rusty plate armor are scattered around the chamber. Again, rubble of destroyed stone furniture. There is an anvil built into the floor. There's a cold furnace in the corner, and you see across the room where you are, Nassri, 2 humanoid feet sticking out from the rubble, faintly moving.
Well, while we're still blessed and so forth, I'm quite keen to see what else might assail us. So I'm assuming the door to the bottom of the picture is unlocked.
Yes.
I'm going to use my thaumaturgy to cause it to fly open.
Okay, it does fly open. It reveals a long corridor, and probably, if they could show surprise, they would. 3 of these restless inhabitants are shuffling around aimlessly. As you slam the door open, they turn to look at you, their ancient evil eyes glittering as they start stumbling towards you uphill, so they are even slower than ever. So we'll roll straight on with the same initiative if you like. I'll roll for the zombies, just so we keep a little bit of oomph going. The zombies are -1, so they are definitely going last, which means that Nassri, you are first to react as we go in.
Okay, so as I shout Moradin, the force of my voice and just divine fervor blast the door open. So I follow it quickly around, and as this zombie's still looking surprised, I'm going to hit it with my blessed hammer to see if that upsets it.
Probably will. It definitely does. 6 points of damage to him is not a good place. Yeah, you kind of step into the breach, slam your hammer into him. It staggers back. Lamul.
All right. Tell me if this is viable or not. I want to go and pick up this anvil, stagger down the corridor, and throw it at this zombie.
Sure, why not? Make me an athletics check.
All right. Okay. World's strongest Goliath. Here we go.
Under your legs.
No. You are convinced that this anvil
Hold it down.
is attached to the floor. It's almost like it's part of the entire building.
I actually rolled a 1. Thank you very much. That's terrific.
Yin.
There's a moment of surprise. We go, what are you doing, Lamul?
Yeah. I mean, what's this Goliath to be running past me?
There's zombies, Lamul. What are you doing?
Give us a hand. I'm styling it out. Give us a hand.
That's just in trouble. I'll run forward.
Okay. Extra speed.
Get to here, and then strike at the one next to Nassri.
Okay.
Don't worry, Nassri. I got your back. I don't know what Lamul's doing. I think he might have gone mad. Picking up anvils and everything. We're still blessed, aren't we?
Yes.
14.
Hit and damage.
For a mighty 8. And strike with my dagger.
Okay.
For 22 for 2.
All right.
So I lash out, trying to cut it down, snaring at his legs, trying to bring it to his knees so it can't crawl after us.
Okay. So speed 20 feet, 15 feet. 1, 2. He just about manages to get there. 1, 2, 3. This guy's going to try and hit Nassri with a big old slam. It's going to miss, and the second one on you, Yin'beros, is also going to miss.
Sure.
And Nassri.
Time to hit it again with a hammer. Then I was trying to add the 1d4 in the character sheet, but I'm not sure I've done it, so I'll just carry on. That's enough anyway. They're only class 8 or something, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah. Just the 4 damage for now, then, please.
Good solid hit. It's hanging in there by a thread. Lamul.
Right, I'm going to respectfully lay my shield on this anvil. I'll be back for you, my pretty. Stomp down to the doorway, and then with both hands on the longsword, I'm going to reach over the top of Nassri, try and spear this zombie through the face.
Okay.
You don't have to lift up. I'm at your waist out. You can attack normally. It's fine.
9 hits, 6 is
and
great.
good job went 2-handed because that's done less damage. Brilliant.
How much damage do? 6, 5, 11. And you rolled, and I rolled a 10. It's not enough. Yes, you basically just spear over the top and crunch into its eye socket, yank it out, and the zombie slumps against the door to its left.
Good.
Yin.
Strike out at the other one that came straight at me with my short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Have at thee. 15.
Is it?
15. Keeping it nice and easy to remember as I strike out with that blade. And then slash sideways with the dagger. And just see what comes out. 11 for a mighty 1 as I give it a scar. I just carve Y on its cheek. That's for knowing me.
A question I often ask myself when you're involved.
It is going to respond by trying to slam you, and this one is 1, 2, 3. It's going to make it into here. So the one on you, Yin'beros, is going to miss, and then the one on Nassri, 16, is going to bounce off your armor. It is your go, Nassri, as this thing futilely claws at your armor.
Yeah, I hold my shield out steady so it starts to chew on the rim, but that's iron shot, as is the dwarven way. So I will swing my warhammer once more.
Lovely.
8 damage.
Yeah.
Crack a few ribs or something.
Okay. Cool. And then Lamul.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so similar to before, double-handed, over the top. Here it comes.
Clang.
9 points to its face.
Yep. Good, solid blow. And Yin.
Wow, not wanting to be outdone. I'm going to try a similar thing with my short sword, just because Lamul did it and he clearly knows what he's doing. So, strike my short sword, 23 for 18, as I thrust that thing straight through his head. Come on.
Deadly in a knife fight.
Oh, yeah.
That is,
and then, if it's still reeling after that, strike out with a dagger. 14 for 4, which is as deep as that blade goes.
You can go into the second one, the one that's in front of Nassri for that.
Yeah.
Sweet. And in Nassri, it's your go. Yin's basically stepping in and finished his off.
Yeah. And he just slashes at the hamstring of this one, so which makes it locked to one side, so I can hit it on the temple, which is nice.
You do. And it's going to make a con save and fail that. Yeah, so side of the temple, smash the front of his face off. It goes spinning around 180 degrees and falls to the floor lifeless.
Beautiful.
Well done, everyone. I'm just going to get my shield from that anvil where I meant to put it.
Yeah, while you got it back there, can you kill that other zombie that's buried under the rubble as well?
What?
There's some feet flapping in the stones, trying to drag that thing out and break it to pieces.
Right, if I push the anvil over onto the feet, that should keep them onto their toes. That should keep them still for a while.
You should put it on his chest.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you drop the anvil onto the pile. You get the impression that the zombie is trapped beneath the rubble and seemingly unable to move, or unable to free itself.
If we can hold it down, I think we should dispatch it because it's an evil creature and I'm trying to be pious.
Yeah, it's a fair point. All right, I'll drive push my long sword into its forehead, wiggle it about a little bit. Sorry, man. Don't like doing this to anything really, but you stink and I need to get out of here. So that's how it is.
So as you're as the zombies are kind of collapsing on the floor, you hear from this door a ferocious, violent banging, the sound of objects being tossed around and thrown up against walls. And you notice a large red X painted on the door, but it sounds like someone's in there is going berserk.
Which door?
From this door, absolute silence.
I can't see any.
Which door are you referring to, Matt?
The one closest to you. Sorry, it's not pinging for some reason. Literally one next to Nassri. Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
And that's got a red X on it.
No, the other one further down the corridor.
Right. Okay.
Has an X on it.
I will find myself immediately drawn to the one with the red X on it.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of walk towards it, and you gingerly, and something bang, something slams against the door. Like your heart bloody jumps in your in your chest. And then you can hear it just rampaging off into the distance, further into the room.
Hey, do you think that X is a warning?
Nah.
It marks the spot.
You can hear a bang against the door again, and the door's in its hinges.
If we time this just right, we could get it to come across the corridor and hit the stone wall.
It's set up some kind of trap. I've never done that before, but I've heard that's what you're supposed to do in my profession.
Right, okay. We still need to find this cure, and I don't imagine a delicate gold cipher filled with milky liquid is going to be in that room, to be honest. Sounds like it might be.
I'm tempted to go down and to, as we're looking at it, the right-hand door, see if there's a link up to that. It must be towards the edge of the temple, because by my map that I've been keeping studiously, and Nassri, you're good with stone, we should be coming back round on that lake, shouldn't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
It seems like the centre is where the things will be that are important.
Yeah, but that's where
kind of
I'm
lost track
thinking
of
things.
As long as we can go back, and I can't even remember where the rug room is, but as long as you can guide me back there, I'm sure we can.
I fancy this one. Honestly, my instinct tells me this is the way to go.
In those tunnels underneath the dwarven mountains, your instincts never let us down, Lamul. Let's follow them.
And my instinct tell me that if in doubt, follow them all.
Works.
I'm going down here, Matt.
Okay, you open the door. Let me reveal it, and then I'll describe it.
Broom cupboard, dragon, something in between.
Dragon with a broom.
Oh,
Aha.
Oh, you were right.
Cold wind howls through the collapsed wall of this large chamber. Far side is completely submerged under frigid seawater. There's a dense bed of what looks to be like kelp growing up from the submerged floor, which makes it difficult to see anything that lies below the surface. There's broken glass and remains of shattered tables covering the floor in the dry section of the room.
You know, I think I can see a library over there.
Yeah, I'd have thought about 2 libraries, Yin'beros.
Why would they need 2?
It's a research place.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Who's got the highest passive perception?
13.
Not Yin'beros.
13.
It's wisdom based. What do you think?
Yeah.
No common sense here, Yin'beros.
13's not enough, but it does mean that you can make a roll.
All right, I'll do it.
Oh no, that's a complete lie. 13 is enough.
Oh.
13 is absolutely enough. But you
15's
also
better.
notice. So there's several things that you notice. The thing that you definitely noticed was the large stone chest, which is at the far end of the room, submerged. Similar to the other ones, it's built into the floor and wall, but the water is kind of lapping over the top of it. But with your keen eyes, you see scuttling around in the water, large ice-covered giant crabs in amongst the kelp, giving it all that.
That chest is deep and complex. I don't know. I have a feeling it might be worth knowing what's in there. What do you say? Or we shut the door on this and deal with something different?
What's that?
I just have a feeling that this chest is deep into the laboratory.
There's a chest.
Might have something worthy in it.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. Every chest has potentially something worthy in it.
But we could close the door on the situation. It's not going to go away, is it? So.
No, that's true.
That is true. We are going to have to deal with this rampaging thing that's in the centre, aren't we?
Should we do it before we've had to get nipped by these icy crabs?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's do that.
All right, we're going to put the ice crabs on the back freezer.
Yeah.
Put them on ice, as it were.
Yeah, we're going to put them on ice. And we're going to go back and array ourselves around the door. Should we try the whole yanking open the door at the last minute?
I think that's definitely worth trying.
Got to be, hasn't it? So
Yeah,
if we flank this door,
Okay.
time it, and set up an ambush to like wrench open or push open the door just as the beast is about to hit it, and see what comes flying out into the corridor.
Okay. So you hear the pounding of feet, and right at the last second, you push the door open, and a humanoid creature made of pieces of stitched together flesh smashes into the other side of the corridor. The monster's body is covered in wounds of all sides. There's broken pieces of bone sticking out of his skin. There's lumps of kind of pottery and this stone debris just embedded in where it's been punching it so hard it's fused with its bones. As this flesh golem comes flying out into the corridor. Bang! You can get rid of. Put him there. Let's have a quick roll of initiative. This thing is terrifying. How big and dangerous it feels.
I knew someone in the ranks who'd faced one of these before. It was an absolute beast. It took out his whole unit.
I'm just looking at that. Really, that's the time to bring that up.
I vote we go back and kill the crabs.
What have we got? Yin'beros has got 10, Nassri has got 9, and Lamul, ex-Lamul, has got 2. And what's this?
I was monologuing.
Crazy beast got? Oh. Okay, Yin, you get to react first.
Well, as it slams into the wall under its own momentum, I'm going to shiv it with my blades and try to slow it down and maybe even stop it in its tracks completely. So we don't have the blade to stop anymore, do we? That's been a long time gone. So and an 18 armor class as I strike with my short sword for 14 points of damage, including a sneak attack, if that works.
So with your short sword, that is piercing damage. Yeah, you plunge your short sword deep into this flesh. You yank it out. There's no blood, no reaction, no nothing. You don't feel as if you've done any damage to it at all. It's almost like it's immune to your sword.
Let's see if it's immune to my blade, my dagger.
Sword.
Yeah. Again, this is probably going to hit it, but I need 2 piercing.
2 piercing damage. That definitely leaves a mark on it.
Okay.
But
they were both piercing.
Scratch.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Up close, you can see like it's really badly wounded. It looks like it's been going berserk in that room and just smashing itself to bits against the walls and the door. Nassri, I think
we need the anvil.
Yeah, Nassri, you are only by a hair quicker than the golem.
A hair is what dwarves are all about. Right. For my bonus action, I'm going to summon a spiritual weapon.
Yes.
And hit it with a weapon, I presume. I can do that.
Yep.
You can.
I'm not quite sure how I roll for the weapon.
You may just have to go to your D20.
Damage. Yeah, I think I just have to. Okay, I'll just roll a D20 for the spiritual warhammer that appears out of nowhere.
Okay, and 13 is gonna hit, and
Oh, I've done it. It's done it there.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
it's
you
done it,
went
yeah.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
done it.
You
And
rolled
done the
13
damage
and
as
it
well.
did 9 points of damage. So you're basically Moradin's blessing comes down like a sunbeam from up above. This hammer appears and just immediately smashes into the golem. Moradin knows what you need, and you need a warhammer to crack this thing around the head, and it explodes like a rotten pineapple, and it flails around like blindly. You step back as this thing spins into destruction and then falls to the floor.
Oh,
Wow.
that was just my bonus action.
Cool.
There
You
you
can
go.
do high fives with the rest of it.
There you
I'll
go.
look at the glowing hammer with awe.
I look at my sword. I look up at the hammer. I look down at my sword.
It was, it was a terrifying creature. You feel, if you hadn't have acted as swiftly as you did, one of you may well have perished.
Well, I'm quick thinking, and my hammer will stay with me for some time, and there's a bag of soon-to-be smashed crabs down the other end of this corridor.
Okay.
So,
And you've got the hill.
with my actual action, I'm going to run down here.
Don't forget your extra movement.
All right. So yes, for the next for the rest of the minute, basically, I'll open the door and guide my spiritual hammer to go smashing crabs wherever I see them.
Okay,
Like
that's
whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Sweet.
all right. There you go. We got a hammer. Wonderful. Okay, so that's you go. So those guys haven't actually activated yet. I'll roll for them when they do. So Lamul, Nasri's just gone charging off down the corridor. You look like you've already done that. Yin, you get to have an action.
I'll just sort of do a double take at the remains of this thing, look at my blades, and then just run after my two companions, watching that glowing hammer with quite no small amount of fear, actually. And that's what
Yeah,
kissing the hammer must really mean, I figure.
Yeah, exactly. You're coming round to this idea of Moradin.
Yeah. This is,
Nasri, can I make a joke about it being hammer time, or is it like save
I've
it for
used that
later?
one before, but if you want to keep repeating the same joke, that's kind of up to you.
I think that's why you make them funny.
Yeah, it doesn't make it worth it at all. The hammer can move up to 20 feet, so I'll just move it up to the nearest crab, and this glowing hammer of doom will smash the beast.
Okay. The crab is going to be a little bit surprised by that, I'd imagine.
I imagine. Do you want me to? I'm not sure what button I pressed last time.
Roll your. Just click on the spiritual weapon again. It'll do it all for you. I mean, it's
first one up here.
roll.
No, see, it just seems to do damage.
That's weird, isn't it? Okay.
I think it's because when you cast it, it actually does the thing. But then after that, it's now.
Oh, you can't cast it anymore. It just
I can't press the button again, if you know what I
Now,
mean.
bonus action, yeah.
Just hit a d20 then.
Spell attack, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a hit, and your first good chunk of damage there, 4 points of damage.
Presumably, I can actually act as well.
You can, yeah, that's a free action.
So rather than charging, I'll just shoot my crossbow from here because it seems reasonable.
Okay. That is maybe that gets stopped by the water.
Another monster of the lake.
Let me see what the crabs are doing. Okay, that is fine. In which case, the crabs are going to act because they are. So the crabs are going to come. How are they going to react to that? I think they'll probably come towards this kind of strange enemy and try and snip at it.
And mate with it.
Yeah, Lamul.
Right, okay, Yin'beros, come with me, okay? And I think behind my shield, my plan is to get you to the chest. Yeah, because we don't need to worry about, well, maybe we do need to worry, but we'll figure that out as we go along. So if I go this far with a move, okay?
Yeah.
Yin'beros should be able to do the same. Can I get to the chest without any issues?
Yes. Yeah, the chest is kind of here.
Cool, okay, so I've used 2 moves to do that, so that's my action.
Okay. Cool. Yin.
Okay.
I assume you were roadie running with Lamul,
Yeah.
were you?
I can indeed, but this is where it gets really good.
Yeah.
Because I've now got fast hands, so I'm going to run along behind him and then use my cunning action to open the chest.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay. Let me just
More
double
snakes.
check.
More snakes.
Yeah.
Eels.
Electric ones.
It is locked as you try to flip it open. It's underwater. It's going to be tricky to unlock it.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
Challenge accepted.
Have I used my cunning action for finding out it's locked, or can I use my...
I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
you've had a good old sprint, and you've.
Don't let me down, thief.
Nassri. What's that?
He was only a rogue yesterday. Now he's a thief. He doesn't want to let me down.
I've upgraded.
I'll try and use my spiritual hammer again. That's not probably good enough. Even with my bonus.
That is not going to be good enough, no.
Okay, so I'll just fire my crossbow. It's the injured crab that the hammer's handling.
Okay.
Targeted for me. Although it's not great. 2 damage if it's even hit.
Yeah, no, it just clatters off of its thick chitinous armor. The crabs are now got something else to think about. So one of them's going to wander off. The one that you've been bashing kind of goes over towards Lamul. I think 2 of them will go. These 2 will stupidly keep trying to hit the glowing weapon. 2 on you, Lamul. 1 is going to hit, which means that you are grappled as this claw clamps around your leg painfully.
I'd argue that the crab's grappled.
4 points of damage, Lamul, and you are grappled.
How many damage? Any damage?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One has to admire the tenacity of a crab grappling a Goliath.
Well, I've grappled it with my
And
legs.
Just hanging on.
I think
Maybe one of them's hanging on to the spiritual weapon as well as it's flailing around.
Take you for a ride.
Taking it on a magic carpet ride.
Send it out to sea somewhere. There you go.
Right, Lamul, it's you to go. You've got this crab sinking its claws into you.
All right, let's try and open it up with my longsword. That should hurt it. Get it right in the eyes, underneath the main body of its shell, and pop its back off.
That it will. You are grappled though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that makes any difference to the thing that I'm grappling.
Probably not.
It just means we can't move away from each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to impose the dead condition on it.
Not quite, but you've definitely levered your longsword into this grapple off, which Yin reminds you faintly of a type of vodka.
Yeah, Yin's utterly oblivious to all of this. He's actually kind of going, do you know you can cook crabs? They're actually quite nice. He's not turning around whilst he's working on them. Totally oblivious to the fight that's taking place.
Kelp would be a nice dressing on the side as well, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, delicious. And there's a kitchen over the other side of the laboratory.
All right, what do you need from me? A sleight of hand?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Needs to be good.
Yeah, no, don't say stuff like that before I make
Come on, Ian.
Use your inspiration.
15. Come on, that's not bad.
15
sounds
is
good.
beautiful, Bernard. Beautiful. Yes. Despite being underwater and you're kind of like feeling down, click, and you feel it go, you know that it's unlocked. Dare you open it after your last experience?
Unless they're underwater snakes. Eels. Yeah, I can't help myself. I'll open it.
You open it up. Blub, blub, blub. Ancient kind of air comes out of it. It's like really stale, nasty, makes you cough.
Oh, eggy.
And the water kind of flows in, and as it does, you look down, the swirling water, you can see images of golden vials with a pale white fluid inside them.
Oh, guys, girls.
There is 20 of them.
Floating off. Message in a bottle.
Your crab's nicking him.
Okay. And there also appears to be something else in there. It looks like an eye, like an eyeball. It's hard to tell underneath the water, but it looks like it's looking at you.
Yeah. I don't want to stick your hand in that.
Nassri's go.
Okay. I will continue chanting my prayers to Moradin to try and get this spiritual hammer to get us some supper.
Come on, Hammer. You can do it. You can't do it.
Oh.
It's just distracting them, frankly.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm going to enter the fray with my warhammer. I just toss my crossbow aside in disgust and decide this spiritual hammer needs some guidance from me.
There you
Yeah, good hit.
Give it a lesson in melee.
The hammer stands corrected and now knows what it needs to do. It is the Crab's Go. So the one that's on Lamul, I think is. Does that give it advantage because it's grappling you? I think it does, doesn't it?
go. I don't think so.
I don't think it does. It just stops them from moving, doesn't it?
Seems a bit useless then. So that's a miss, and the other one is going to also miss you. So and the other two are going to be flailing around at the spiritual weapon. So Lamul, you have a crab still pincering onto you.
Well, you say I do, but I've rolled 13 to hit it for 4 slashing.
Yeah, 13 is a good hit, but not enough to get through its armor.
Oh man!
Yin.
Really?
So I'll look up and go, I think I found it, everybody. Then I'll realise that everyone's in combat. And
Yeah,
go, oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yin'beros, how are we doing back there? Trying to beat my own leg with my sword.
Oh, yeah, I found them. There's an eye looking at me. Oh, crabs. And I'll step up and just sort of quickly strike at that one next to that's grappling my friend. No, it's probably going to bounce off it, though, with an 11, isn't it?
Afraid so, yeah. Nassri.
They got quite hard shells.
Yep. I'm going to continue with my lessons first.
Okay.
10's probably not good enough, is it? So we'll see if my spiritual hammer and my god can assist me further.
Yes, it can. Roll some damage.
Right, where's that gone? Spiritual weapon. Here we are. Oh, Mandinga.
Oh my
It does,
god.
it does get +3 for my spellcasting modifier, though, so that's actually 4 spiritual damage.
Okay, that's significantly better than it looked.
It's a lot better than it looked initially. Yeah.
Good. All right, the crab. So this one might actually turn around and try and clamp onto you, seeing as you've got its attention. 11's going to not hit. The one that's grappling Lamul is going to miss. The other one is going to have a snip at you and just bounce off of your armor. It is over to you, Lamul.
Okay, let's see if I can actually force this stupid crab off my foot now that my man's done his business. Is 14 any better?
It is not. No, 15 is the number.
Right, now, if I have you got all the stuff, Yin'beros?
Well, it's open. I could drag the chest out if you want. It looks quite heavy.
I thought you were going to grab the vials, mate. Grab the vials.
I thought you wanted me to help you. Sorry, I got a bit confused.
Grab the vials.
Oh, sorry, Lamul.
I'm going to drag my crab, because I can move at half speed with it. I'm going to drag it that far if you want to move it with me, Matt. Away from Yin'beros.
I can do.
I do. I'm going to pull it out of the water and drag it along the stony floor.
Okay.
With my one good leg.
Actually on the ground a bit.
Myself along with.
Yin.
So I'm going to step up to that chest and use my fast hands, my bonus action, my cunning action, and my lucky gonk, and whatever else I need to grab as many of those items as possible. And only when I've got all 20 of those golden hued vials will they go, should I take the eye? But that can be a decision I make once I've got everything. So how many can I grab this round?
Fast hands.
Fast hands. Roll 3d6.
Okay.
Grab that many.
6.
So you have fast hands, but the water is cold.
I need gloves. I'm complaining.
Nassri. It's like washing your car in November.
Without any gloves on.
Yeah, exactly. Nassri.
There you go.
Oh, it's a hit.
That's nice hit.
Tonk.
And I'll just manually roll this damage because it's easy to keep pressing buttons on my sheet doing nothing.
I think so. In fact, that is going to smash it to smithereens, and that one goes.
Cool. And then I try to be inspired by this feat from my God's blessing.
Yep.
But my hands are numb with the cold out here.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Lamul, you still got this crab attached to you. Oh no, it's the crab's go. This crab is going to lose interest and just wander and sink back into the depths. This one is going to try and clamp you, Lamul. Can't get through your armor. It has definitely made a tactical error in attaching itself to you. And the other one, you're easily fending it off with your shield, Nassri. Lamul, what you gonna do?
I'm going to boot this thing against the wall and crush it with my foot.
Okay. Yes, you do. And
Yes.
in fact, that is exactly what you do.
Crunch.
Uh,
It off my foot. I'm wearing sandals.
Yin, you can move if you want, Lamul. Yin, you grabbing?
Keep grabbing.
3d6.
Another 9. Is that
Okay.
that more? Got more?
No, you got. There's 5 left in there, and the eye is watching you every time you go in. It goes.
Just got a bit creeped out by that. I won't look at it.
No,
Just give me a half.
I'm not looking at it. Nassri.
Yeah, I'll plant my shield down and then look at the spiritual hammer and go like croquet style and try and smash the crab against my shield.
Okay.
Or not.
No, that's not going to get through it.
I'll have to manually try and do it myself.
Fair enough. Yes,
There
you
you
do. Yeah. In fact, you go in with a spiritual weapon, and the weapon lightly rests against it, a bit like an apprentice hammer, and you hit the back of the hammer, and it smashes the crab to bits. And the crab explodes and dies.
Can't help but think that Moradin had decided that crabs were beneath him. It was the big golem was his moment, wasn't it? It's like,
all you can hear is the gentle lapping of the water, and Yin'beros go, "Oh!" as he grabs the last 5. Do you grab the eye or not?
of course,
Obviously. Pop it into your mouth for safekeeping.
absolutely.
And you have 20 doses of what you believe to be a milky liquid in ancient blue vials. You think you've got the antidote?
Got it. I think we've got it. We bet.
We get home.
Yeah. We'll just take a minute just to breathe.
Just to have a breather.
Jesus.
So what we can do is we definitely can drop out of initiative time. We can go into game time, but looking at the time of the session and where we're at, are you going to continue exploring this complex, or are you going to start making your way home? I wonder if that's a cliffhanger that we leave the session on, because you have the antidote. You can definitely get back to Pale Bank, and you can be the heroes and save it. You just need to get those vials safely across 17,000 million miles of Arctic tundra to the buyer for him to teleport the last 20 feet to Pale Bank. Distances may or may not be completely accurate in all of that. But I think
to see there's 3 of us just sort of like looking at each other with eyebrows raised, checking our alignments.
Yeah. Do we? Don't we?
I think this would be if this was a Netflix show. This would be at the point where the credits roll and it starts talking to you about season 2. So I think you guys successfully found the antidote, and a bit like the Jaws movie, we'll roll credits and you'll never know whether he gets to the beach or not, unless you watch the credits all the way to the end.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that eye from the chest was winked at us on the way.
So
Screen goes down into a circle around the eye.
He just looks around.
Perfect. Right. I'm going to introduce everyone to say goodbye, and then I'm going to hit the stop button. So Matt, why don't you say goodbye?
Goodbye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that.
Baz?
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you again soon.
And Gaz.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget to check us out on whatwouldthesmartpartydo.com, the Patreon, on Twitter at @the_smart_party, or any of the names you can see listed on the screen now.
Perfect. And it's cheerio from me.